hair systems as an option for hair loss. Are they a good option? Are they a bad option? What do I recommend? What's my experience with them? Let's get into it. So back in 2021, before I embarked on my hair transplant project of having 3 hair transplants, I did try hair systems for about 6 months. So since I had initially been rejected for a hair transplant when I went for a consultation in New York City at a very high profile hair transplant clinic doctor, after he, denied me and said I wouldn't be satisfied with the hair transplant outcome, I figured I would give hair systems a try since I knew some people who wore them. I had seen a lot of information about them online. They looked pretty modern. The technology looked pretty advanced. And so it was something I decided I would try out for a little while to see how it went. People gave me advice on how to do it, what to look for, where to go to have it done, and all of that. So now it's time for me to pass on that advice to you. So if you don't already know, a hair system is a modern unit of non-growing but real hair that is constructed, and then it is applied to the scalp to treat the condition of male pattern hair loss or female pattern hair loss as well, any type of hair loss. So it's a system that gets attached to your scalp, and it has to be removed and refreshed periodically. So there are professional hair salons that will order hair system units for you through manufacturers, usually overseas. But what I did was, when I wanted to give this a try, I researched hair systems online on my own, and I ordered them myself based on my hair color, my hair texture, the sizing, based on the size of my head and all of that. And then you can find private hair salons in your community that will, take those units, or like I said, order their own for you through their channels. And then they will care for the units, and they will install them for you on a regular basis. Modern hair systems come in 2 main types, okay? First one is called lace, which is a mesh material, and the second one is called polyurethane. So the lace hair system units, that the hair is like woven through this mesh lace, and that gets attached to your scalp. The lace is more breathable, and it's usually taped on with super strong adhesive, like strips of tape in certain areas throughout the unit. Polyurethane, on the other hand, units, they seem to sit smoother because they're kind of flatter. They're not kind of like, a little bubbled like the mesh can be sometimes. And the polyurethane units can be adhered with liquid adhesive, which sometimes can provide a flatter and smoother feeling on the head. However, the polyurethane units are less breathable because there's no air getting in and out of the area where it's applied, the way that there's a little bit of air getting in and out where the mesh is. So my experience was, first I started with lace units, and then after a few months I switched to polyurethane, because the polyurethane units tended to feel smoother, like I said, and stay adhered longer to my scalp than the lace did. The lace, I had issues with the lace like coming up too early around the edges and things like that. But it all depends on your unique skin chemistry. So everything, your experience may be different. You can't bet on one necessarily being better than the other for you. So what I did was I bought my hair system units online, received them in the mail. Then I would take them into a salon called Hair Club for Men, well-known one across the country. And like I said, or you can find individual private salons that also offer hair system care and maintenance. So Hair Club would install the hair system units. They would cut them and style them the way that I wanted to, based on haircuts that I asked for and pictures that I showed them. It costed me over $100 for each salon visit, and that's not including tips either. So I'd usually give like a $20 tip. So each salon visit was like $120 at least. And the thing is, the salon visits are basically required every 1 to 3 weeks to remove, wash, refresh, and reapply the hair system unit. Okay, that's the thing with hair systems. They look great when they're on. However, you do have to keep maintaining them on a regular basis. You can't just, slap it on, forget about it forever. You have to keep up with the maintenance. So salon visits every 1 to 3 weeks, depending on how active you are and what your lifestyle is like. If you are a heavy sweater, or you live in a warmer climate and you live a very active lifestyle where there's a lot of moisture and sweating and things like that on your head and your skin, every 1 to 2 weeks is how often you'd have to go into the salon to have it removed, cleaned, and reapplied, because the adhesive will start to come up. If you live in a colder climate, or you don't sweat as much and you're not very active, then you could probably stretch it to 2 to 3 weeks between salon visits. Some people who wear hair systems actually teach themselves to do everything all on their own. Cleaning, reapplying the unit, styling, they do everything that a salon would do at home in their own houses or apartments. And so then they don't have to pay a salon to visit the salon every few weeks. It's a big investment though to do that. Most people who I know who do the hair system thing, they go into salons regularly to have them maintained. So when you wear hair systems, you can engage in basically, almost all regular lifestyle activities that you would if you weren't wearing a hair system, right? Showering is not a problem. Swimming is not a problem. Contact sports are even not a problem. However, there are, some limitations with a little bit of everything, right? So you don't want to take super long hot showers because that will sort of start to break down the adhesive more quickly, and then it'll lift up more quickly and you'll have to go into the salon for unexpected, visits. Swimming, same thing. You can swim in hair systems and get it all wet just like you would your normal hair, but you don't want to be doing it so much that the, like say salt water and other chemicals and stuff is breaking down the adhesive too soon. So everything that you do that you normally would do in life, if you live an active lifestyle, you can do it, but you just have to kind of limit how much you do it and be cognizant of how it's affecting the adhesion of the hair system. So in terms of the care, and the washing of the hair system at home, it's recommended that you do use special shampoos and conditioners to not damage the hair, since it's like dry hair. Even though it's real, it came from other humans that was cut off. It's not your real growing hair, and it's not being hydrated by natural oils, since the hair system unit is blocking your skin from being able to provide those natural oils to the hair. So you do have to use some special shampoos and conditioners, on the hair system hair. And like I said, since it doesn't get natural oils from your scalp, it needs extra care to be kept moist and healthy, or it can end up getting really dry and brittle and knotty. So you have to be careful with how you care for the hair. It can be annoying sometimes. Some of the pros of wearing hair systems for hair loss. They can look very good and very natural and very dense, and you can style them basically how you would normal thick hair, so you can achieve any haircut really that you would want with them. Another pro is that there's no medication needed or topical treatments to use, because you're basically saying, I'm done with treating the actual hair loss, and I'm just gonna use the hair system as a cosmetic solution. So no medication, no topical solutions to keep up with. They are a quick and direct visual solution to the problem. And another pro might be that the costs of the hair systems are more spread out over time versus hair transplants and medications, which might be more costly up front. So you're paying I'd say around $300 to $400 per hair system unit, and each unit could last you, a few months. So you might get 3 or 4 units throughout a year until you throw them away, and then you move on to the next one. And like I said, the salon visits themselves can be $100+, so you factor all that in. So it might be lower costs in the immediate time frame, and they're more spread out over time, whereas like a hair transplant, you basically have to pay a lump sum of many thousands of dollars at once to have the procedure done. But some cons and some downsides of wearing hair systems. It's not your real growing hair, so it's temporarily adhered to your skin and to your head, and it requires constant maintenance to ensure it stays on for the desired duration and looks good. All right, so it can potentially limit freedom and travel, since you need to have it refreshed every few weeks. Now, obviously you can plan around that, but there are, situations in which you may say, well, I can't really go here, I can't really do that because I need to be able to get to my salon visit, on this certain date to make sure it gets reapplied and cleaned properly. So it becomes a logistical challenge to have to plan around that. Also, the potential lack of feeling of authenticity, right? So some people might know that you're wearing a hair system, they might figure it out, and they might look down on that, whether that's fair or not, because both women and men do cosmetic things that improve their appearance, and it seems to be more normalized for women and not as normalized for men to do that type of thing. So, but it's a fact of life. You're not going to convince 100% of people that it's real, right? And so the main thing in my opinion is, if you're going to do the hair systems, just don't care about if people know or if they realize that that's the hair system. That's not the point. The point is just to maximize your appearance and your happiness with your appearance. So, that's just a potential con, but it can feel at times like you're not achieving 100% of natural hair results that you would want. And that's just a natural fact of it. And another thing I'm going to mention under the con list is the cost, because even though it may be more spread out over time, and it may, you may be able to avoid a big upfront, huge lump sum cost for hair systems, over the years and over the decades, it can add up to actually being more expensive than a hair transplant and medications would be. So like I said, about $400 per unit, say times 3 units in a year, so that's $1,200, plus at least $100 every 2 weeks or so for salon visits. That's $2,600 a year at least. So you add those two together, you're spending about $4,000 a year on hair systems and their maintenance. So $4,000 a year times a decade, 10 years, that's $40,000 at least. So then you start to compare it to hair transplants, and there's a lot of times you can get hair transplants for a lot less than that, and they're permanent solutions. So I'm going to put that under the con list. Over the years and over the decades, hair systems might be more costly than medications and hair transplants. So in the end, my feelings, my opinions on hair systems, I was glad that I tried them out. But after 6 months or so, I did stop because I ultimately just felt unsatisfied with them. Even though they looked good, I was exhausted with the constant maintenance, the feeling of just being a little bit restricted in my planning and my logistics and stuff like that. So I ended up finding a hair transplant clinic, like I've talked about, that could work on me, and I invested in that route. But I'm glad I tried the hair systems for a few months to see what they were all about. They can be good for a lot of people, and that's just something to keep in mind. People will still ask me, what should I do? Should I try hair systems? Should I not? So here's my ultimate advice to you on hair systems if you're having hair loss, okay? If you're early on in your hair loss experience, even if you're like a Norwood 5 or below, right? So Norwood 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and maybe even like a Norwood 5, I don't think that hair systems are the best option out there for most people in that situation. Because you can try medication, you can try other treatments to restore your natural hair, you can have hair transplants and still have a very good outcome that's permanent, and that is real, it's your real growing hair if you're like Norwood 5 or below that. All right, so if you're in that situation, my advice is to do everything you possibly can to save your original natural hair and restore what you've lost. And a lot of times you can be successful with that through medication and hair transplants. If you are later down the road in your hair loss experience, right? So if you're a Norwood 6 or 7, or you're maybe a little bit older and you lost the hair a long time ago, then I think hair systems could be a good option, or even the best option sometimes. It depends on the situation. Still, I don't know that I would necessarily consider it the first option, because even some, Norwood 6s and 7s can have good hair transplant results if their donor areas are strong and they use medication to maximize results, right? I'm a Norwood 6 to 7, and I ultimately went down the hair transplant route and used some medication, and I'm happy with my outcome. But like I said, it depends on your hair characteristics, your donor area strength, all of that. If your donor area is weak and you really have no options left for natural hair recovery, then your final 2 options are use hair systems or shave it and forget about it. That's it. So that's how I would sort of address it to those people out there who want that advice. If you're earlier on in your hair loss experience or you're younger, I would say try natural hair restoration first through medication and hair transplants. If you're, super hair loss advanced, and it's really not going to work out to ever restore your original growing hair, then hair systems can be a great option for you. Or if you're a little bit older and you want to, you want the cosmetic results of the hair system, then it could be a great option. So that's my ultimate advice out there to everybody on this topic. Hope you have a great one. See you in the next video.